We are at Grits and Groceries at Sailor's Crossing near Belton, and you can find this place because there's a giant chicken in the yard with a necklace on. I'm with Heidi Truel, who is the wonderful person who runs this great establishment. Thank you for letting us come to see you.
Thank you. We're glad you're here.
How did you decide to come back to South Carolina and open a place in the middle of nowhere?
Well, at 40-ish, I had a baby and realized that schools weren't a great option in New Orleans, so we decided to move back. And we kind of threw a dart at the map of South Carolina, and this is where it landed.
Well, you had to learn how to cook somewhere, and where did that happen?
Well, I grew up in Sumter and learned to cook around our farmhouse, and then when I left home, the University of South Carolina suggested I find some alternative education. So I went to cooking school and thought, well, I'll be a great housewife someday. But it turned out I really like to cook, so I just stuck with that.
And did you find somebody else who liked to cook along the way?
I married the sweetest guy I could. I married a pastry chef. That way he's always rolling in the dough.
Oh, well, it's fascinating because you are committed to using local products, and so tell me about some of the things that you found that you can incorporate into the menu.
Well, we do. Our goal is 80% within 100 miles. Of course, we can't buy toilet paper and plastic wrap made locally, but we work with 4 different farmers, and we raise our own cows, our own pig, and then we have a poultry grower. And our goal is to, as much as we can, local. And we change our menu every day, so it really gives us the flexibility to do that.
And some of the things that are real crowd pleasers, I think, because I came in, I talked to a lot of people, this chicken is just remarkable. And
fried chicken is a pretty big favorite. And you know, fried chicken is just something that's always great, and I noticed that I worked in a lot of fine dining restaurants. They're always trying to change it and make it something different. It's fried chicken. This is the way it is.
And are the chickens local?
They are. Well, they are processed at Eastview Farms, which is our local processor. They're a natural chicken, not an organic, but a natural chicken, so they taste really good.
So they have a great flavor before they leave the barnyard,
Right.
And then when they come here, you can enhance it with
That's
this
right.
incredible way of frying up chicken that tastes just like the very best fried chicken. There's nothing unusual about it except
Nope,
it's
just
so
good
delicious.
chicken.
Yeah. This cornbread is just the way it should be. The grease got hot in the pan before
That's
you
right.
put the batter in. Do you have a good supplier for your cornmeal?
We do. We have a local producer that does our cornmeal and our grits, and he was a retired school teacher and rebuilt his wife's family's mill. It's called Woods Mill. It's in Greenville County.
And I think they use that slow stone process,
do.
so the flavor really does stay, doesn't it?
It does.
And then I had some catfish that was pretty good, and I think y'all really excel at frying. The chicken was done one way, but the catfish was so delicate.
And we use a cornmeal batter with it, and we just dredge it in the cornmeal batter. Joe makes the fish fry for us that we use for that, and then fry it hot and crispy.
I understand that the salad I had that went with my catfish had some kind of beer barbecue sauce on it.
It does. My husband's from North Carolina, and I'm from South Carolina, so we fight often over barbecue sauce.
Of course.
So while we were in New Orleans, he came up with Louisiana barbecue sauce, and that's our compromise sauce. But we use it for a salad dressing here as well.
Well, it sure did work well today. And then we were so full, I declare, but we did have dessert. Who's the dessert person?
My husband, Joe, he makes all the desserts, and you can tell it's all nice, good home-style desserts.
Well, and the ones that you've put here are very beautiful, but I must say, I had one that seemed remarkably Southern. It was called let me read it off the side, a chocolate Coca-Cola cake.
That's right. You have to have chocolate Coca-Cola cake.
And my husband would say Coca-Cola,
Yep.
because he's really Southern. And then bread pudding with coconut. Nice little twist that y'all have on everything.
You know, a lot of people think they don't like bread pudding, but it's because
Everybody
they've
at my
never had
table.
good bread pudding. But we do ours like a souffle. It's not souffled when you get it, but we cook it. It's light with the egg whites whipped in like a souffle.
I know
So it's
the
really
guys
nice.
with me always saying, I don't like bread pudding normally. And they were just lapping that bread
Yep,
pudding up.
It's really good. And the caramel sauce. You can put the caramel sauce on your shoe and it tastes good.
I know. Well, at the end of it, I took mine and was going to put my finger in it. Sean was afraid I was going to drink it, and he was going to save me from a.
You should have gotten another piece of cornbread and finished that.
Should have done that, yeah. Y'all have been selected to be part of the South Carolina Ambassador Chefs Program. Tell us about that.
Well, there are 4 of us. We'll each represent an area. I have the upstate, and the idea is to be a good ambassador to tell them what we have to offer in our area and bring tourists into our area. So the beach gets a lot of publicity, Charleston, Myrtle Beach. So we want to publicize this area, the mountains, the lakes, the food.
And I think part of what y'all do is y'all was selected not only because of the quality of your food, but because y'all make some emphasis on using local food. So all of this ties in together, and we're trying to get people to realize that South Carolina is a great place to travel in, that there are such interesting places that are off the beaten path.
Well, it's a great place to travel and to live. So even if you live here, you know, there's some great things to see. We have orchards with farm tours, small agricultural businesses you can see. They make cheese right here. So not far away, you can go and see Clemson Blue cheese made. You can see it milk the cow and make the cheese.
And you can drink that milk. I had a glass of their buttermilk today while I was eating lunch with you.
With the cornbread.
Yeah. And I feel like since we are trying to encourage people to travel, we need to tell them how they can get here because it's a little bit off the beaten path.
Well, actually, this is the center of the universe. We're 9 miles from Belton, 9 miles from Anderson, 9 miles from Star Iva, 9 miles from Due West.
Well, how about
that? So this is Sailor's Crossing, and we are the center of the universe. And you can go to our website at gritsandgroceries.com and get all the directions.
Well, we had a wonderful visit with you today. We thank you so much for letting us come.
Thank you. We're glad you're here.
Glad you came back to South Carolina.